lined up in honor of him. And I know it was his friends that did it. So it was probably just places he used to hang out with them. It might be something you have to share with some of his friends for somebody to claim
Oh,
that.
you know what?
But do you understand it, honey?
Mm-hmm.
Good. He's also saying he knows about the tree, so that means somebody planted a tree or did a tree in his honor.
Okay.
So ask about that too, because that could be friends as well. And he's like, they did the tree right after I passed. So I know somebody did a tree or planted a tree in his honor. That's great. So it's his way of saying thank you for that too. Do you understand why I keep hearing the band The Eagles or old Eagles music?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Share that please. I just know that there's another celebratory song from the Eagles in honor of him as well. And that can get into a certain group of friends, because I know you don't know all his friends, and
Yeah.
that's okay. Gosh, he's got a lot of sarcasm. Do you understand it? And he picked on people to show his love. That's just how his communication was. But he had such a big heart as well. Do you understand it?
I do.
Good. He also smells like Mountain Dew and beef jerky, so whatever that's about. Look, please remember that could have been stuff he did with his friends as well. So I'm like, he smells like that. But then you would understand the marijuana and the drugs and just that big little soul. But sometimes I'll get like favorite things they did on a daily basis or things they enjoyed with other people. And that's okay. Look, I had a dad the other night that came through smelling like steak and cream of wheat, and his daughter was like, that's him, he'd eat cream of wheat every morning, and he always wanted my grandmother to make him steak and mashed potatoes for dinner, and I'm like, who comes through with that combination, steak and cream of wheat?
Right.
But I get those random smells and different types of things that they did as just in their daily life to prove it's them, and that's okay. All right, let me listen. Because I'm going to have a few more minutes with him, and then I'll catch Tony, because my guys are like, we're done to minutes, and I'm like, I know. That could be 10 or 20, I'm not sure. But they've done wonderful. We're holding the energy as long as we can, I said I know. Do you understand him saying to me, it's hard for your mom to talk about him?
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't mean that she doesn't. It just means he sees that it's still hard, and he just keeps saying to me he's helping her through it.
Mm-hmm.
This is also where I was getting the information from your grandmother as well, as far as the family, because he's included in this message of like how much they appreciate the things you guys are doing for mom, and that she's still trying to do things on her own as much as she can to understand it, but that you guys are kind of still meeting her in the middle and still trying to balance that. Because I do hear him saying to me, there's already stuff you guys see that you know she's not going to be able to do much longer on her own. And I feel like they're going to be guiding those words when that time comes as well. So we'll definitely be that soul lean on when that time comes, honey, okay? I hear the number 54.
I'm getting ready to I'll turn 54 this year.
I know, he's giving a happy birthday, honey. As soon as you close your eyes, he's like, yeah, she knows I'm talking about her. And I'm like, I know. I'll just wait for her to answer it. But he drew a 54 between us, and it's his way of saying happy early 54th birthday. That's wonderful. That's really great. How far apart were you guys?
4 years and 1 day.
Good. They're making me feel you were just between 3 to 5 years because I kept hearing over 3 years. Do you understand? So I know you're between that 3 to 5 year shift. Because he's saying to me, you still celebrate your birthday with him, that's why I'm asking. Okay? It reminds me of my husband, so his birthday is September 28th. And he never knew his biological dad, and he found his biological dad 3 years ago around this time frame. And when he found his half-sister Mel, she lives in St. Pete's in Florida, we found out her birthday September 27th.
Oh, wow.
Do you understand it? So I'm trying to think how old she is. My husband's 50, I'm 47. They're like 2 years and 364 days apart or something crazy, right? It's like a day difference of like 3 years or whatever, because she's on the 27th, he's on the 28th. So when I got this, I knew you were between that 3 to 5 year shift, and then I kept hearing we're right next to each other. And I'm like, what? Because your birthdays are right next to each other because you're 4 years and a day. And then it made me think of Jeff and Mel because his birthday's on September 28th, and hers is on the 27th. And then Jeff's dad that he grew up with, who he always thought was his biological dad, and he didn't find out until he was a teenager, is on the 29th.
Oh, wow.
It's so funny. So they're like all right in a row, right? But he made me think about that, so I know you're like that close. So he's saying to me about always celebrating your birthdays together. Do you understand it?
Mhm.
He said, sometimes I felt like we got the raw end of the deal, but we went through it anyway. Do you understand him saying that? I'm like, did you really just say that? I don't think that's a message to share with mom.
Yeah, yeah, no, we did,
You might have to
yeah.
skip over that part. But he just keeps saying to me, it meant a lot to him that your birthdays were that close, because he's acknowledging. And so he just keeps saying to me, happy 54th. Do you understand it? Plus, you guys would be celebrating his 50th this year, so they had to make me feel the 50th for my hubby, so that I could connect that he would be turning 50. Do you understand it?
Mhm.
With you guys being those 4 years apart. So you guys will be celebrating the 30th soon, in a little over a year as far as how long he's been gone. Do you understand?
He died on the 17th, 2 days after his birthday.
You
The
understand.
day after his birthday.
You understand it. Good.
Mhm.
So there's a validation with that, and then he keeps saying to me, you've been celebrating every milestone since, and then he's talking about the 50th. Do you understand it?
Mhm.
That's great validation. I love that so much. He's another soul that moves things around. I want you to pay attention. He's been doing it for years. I will tell you, he makes music connections a lot. That's why I'm getting so much with the music, even though it gets into his friends. And then I hear all that rock and roll from the 60s and 70s. So I needed to explain this to you, and everybody can listen even though it's your message. When they connect with music, it doesn't have to be songs that connected you guys together, or songs that remind you of that loved one. It can be if you're asking for help or guidance, or if you're having a hard time and you're asking them to help you or be with you in spirit. They can send you new songs because if the words honor what you're going through or what they would say or how they're supporting, I know he's trying to make different types of connections with you through music. So I just want you to be open to it because he's telling me he's been working on it for a while.
Okay.
So you might start to get some unexpected songs from him because it's more about the words in the songs as far as how he's guiding you. Do you
Okay.
understand it?
Mhm.
That's wonderful. Let it happen for a few more minutes because I'm still hoping to catch Tony because they're telling me Tony's energy is getting depleted. But they knew your brother was a big person, but I still want to try to get Tony. So I'm just going to wait and see if he has the energy. But he doesn't want to take away from your brother. So if he loses the energy and steps out, it's okay too. So let me just listen, 'cause even if I can get him for 2 or 3 minutes, I'd like to. My guys are like, we don't ever wait to see if we can keep the energy. And I'm like, okay, we'll wait and see. But I still have just a little bit more time with your brother. However you choose to share this with your mom, he's telling me that he comes and kisses her on the cheek.
Okay.
I need her to know that. Whether she's felt that or not, any comfort that gives her, or if she starts to be spiritually open, that he's trying to make his presence known, he's definitely using that physical touch with her, and I can see him kissing her right here on the left cheek. So I'm just going to honor to you that it's happening.
Okay.
But I know you understand him acknowledging about her not being the same since he's passed, and it's also his way of saying how much he loves you and the rest of the family for the support you've given her. Because I know you guys are in your own grief stages and going through your grief with him as well. But he's saying to me, even though everybody else has gone through their grief with his passing, you guys have always worried about mom and tried to watch out for her first when it came to the grief over losing your brother. Do you understand it?
Mhm.
So it's his way of saying he saw that you guys put some of your healing on the back burner to make sure that she was taken care of because you saw what she was going through, and he's saying thank you for that. And then I know that as you guys slowly started to move to some of those grief stages that you kind of put off a little bit because you're worried about taking care of her and helping her through what she was going through. He was there to give comfort. So know that he helped you through. When you guys were ready, he was there in support of you as well. That's wonderful validation, because only you would know that, honey. Do you understand it? It's really great. Somebody did a portrait tattoo or thought about it. Do you understand the portrait tattoo?
Not so much a portrait, but yeah.
That can be drawings, it doesn't have to be a portrait of him, he's calling it a portrait. Do you understand
Mhm.
it? As long as you understand it. He goes, I know about that portrait tattoo, and I'm like, I hear you. It just means it was a special drawing made in honor of him, whether it was copied from something he had, or it took some time to create. He's saying thank you for it. You should understand that. He's saying to me, you do.
Yeah, I do.
Good. He's saying thank you for it. Do you understand it?
Mhm.
Good. He said that meant a lot to me, and I was there in spirit when it was done.
It's his recording of his last heartbeat.
That's what it is, honey. Good. Sometimes they'll make me feel the heartbeat, not always. But if somebody actually took that drawing and it was a recording and then they had to etch it out and actually draw it, whether sound or picture, that's why he's calling it a portrait.
Okay.
Because it's the copying of the beat. Do you understand it? That's wonderful validation. Do you understand him talking to me about organ donation?
No.
Okay, I'm just letting you guys know he's saying to me he wishes he could have.
Yeah, he couldn't.
I know, but he's telling me he wishes he could have. He said, Kelly, the only thing I would have wanted to be different because I had to leave so young is I wish I could have saved lives and I wish that my organs could have been donated.
Yeah, he
So
couldn't.
even though he couldn't, honey, he's saying to me he wishes he could have helped to save other lives. His soul understands that he couldn't do that and you guys couldn't do any kind of organ donation with him. But he's saying to me it's the one thing he wishes he could have done differently. You
Okay.
understand it?
Mhm.
So that's okay for his soul to want that, to want to have the chance to save lives even if he couldn't. It's okay for him to validate that to me.
Okay.
It's just the thing he wishes could have been different.
Okay.
Is that he wishes he could have saved other lives. And that's just him being loving from where he is. And that's okay. My guys are like minutes. I'm like, no, I feel it. They've done such a great job, but whether it happened for 2 or 5 minutes, I'm gonna get everything I can. They're dropping me down to 3 souls. I don't know if Tony's one of them. I'm hoping he is. I keep seeing the Camaro. Okay, there is a joke about the Camaro car. Please ask. You're gonna have to share that with
The
his
what?
friend. There's a joke about the Camaro car, but it goes to his friends.
Okay.
He's like, not all my friends are open to this, Kelly, but if some of my friends hear about me joking about the Camaro, they're gonna know it's me. That's all I heard.
Okay.
Sometimes
I
messages
know
like,
who to ask that to, so
so
yeah.
that'll take some time, honey, because he had different groups of friends, so that friend might have to pass it too. I'll give you an example. I was reading years ago, and there was a boy in my home group like this. It was complete skeptic, and his best friend came through, and he told me what he was hiding in his pocket. And then all of a sudden, I started to see all these squirrels running around, and I'm like, I don't know what this is about, but I see squirrels, and he's like, I have to say squirrel to you. And he stood up and started cussing.
Oh my.
And he was like, okay, it's him. I don't even know what to say to you anymore. That was his nickname.
Oh wow.
And he told him to tell him that if it was real, what his nickname was and what he was hiding in his pocket, and he gave me both. So sometimes it happens like that. Especially if there's somebody skeptic. They'll really push the point of giving a
Okay.
proof. But I don't know what the Camaro's about. He just keeps saying you have to mention the Camaro. It goes to one of my friend groups, and I know he had several. Just so but remember, that could be anything.
Right.
Them being drunk and running off a Camaro off
Yeah.
the road. I've gotten some interesting stories. We'll just say that, like the one I told you about with the switching of the license plate and the driver racing. He's telling me I have no fear.
He had no fear.
Yeah, that's important for you guys to hear. Just think who wasn't afraid, honey. It's his way of telling me he wasn't afraid about going to the other side. And I think he's trying to give peace to your mom about that too. Do you understand it?
Mhm.
It's important. Do you understand that song Rainbow Connection?
Mm-mm,
Do you understand why he's singing that to me?
mm-mm.
Please share that. Please remember not all of his friends were guys, some of them were girls as well. And I know that somebody connects to that song in honor of him.
His best friend was a girl.
Okay, I'll leave that, okay? So remember, it can be other females as well. I just keep hearing him sing Rainbow Connection. And I've never gotten that song before, but he knows I recognize it. And he's like, Kelly, this is something else I have to give. So that's gonna take some time, okay?
Okay,
Because that can go to any of his friends. It's just something extra caught, 'cause I'm literally down to minutes with him. My guys are like, maybe another minute or two, so we get anything else personal for you or your family. But he's trying to say hi to some of his friends. So it'll take some time, especially with him gone over 30 years and there being over 200 people at the funeral. You guys didn't know the friends, so
Yeah.
it might take some passing. But that's why I say it's important to pass the messages and record them. Sometimes she feels me standing behind her shoulder towards me. Do you understand that, honey? They're real experiences. I need you to trust that. He's saying sometimes he comes and stands right behind you. And I need you to know that that's really happening and it's him. Do you understand it?
mm-hmm.
That's great validation. Just only another thing that you would understand or know that he wanted to make sure it gave.
I've seen him in my peripheral.
You understand it. Yeah, you see him on the side. Wonderful. Do you understand him talking to me about wet willies and wrestling? Do you understand that? Mention
Used
wet.
to give my mom wet willies.
He said if you tell mom you mentioned the wet willies, she'll know it's him.
Okay,
Get it?
yeah.
That's what it's about. And now she'll know that signs songbirds from him. That's
Okay.
great validation. I heard the number 73.
Well, he was born in 74. My mom just turned 74.
He stepped in to be her angel at 73. So I know it had nothing to do with his birth date. That's why I have my hand up, because I can see him showing angel wings. And I can, because he already said that she's the person he's with the most. And he took full soul assignment with her at the age of 73. So
Okay.
he's been her number one angel for over a year. So
Okay.
he barely leaves her side when he's visiting, honey. Even
Okay.
if he's been watching Neighborhood of the Strongest all these years, he's been helping you guys through your grief as well. So he's been back and forth between a lot of people. But now his soul assignment has shifted where he's with mom more than anything, so he had to say 73. Because it's not always about the birthdays that you guys celebrate. Sometimes I have to make people the age they stepped in for soul assignment. So he stepped in on her 73rd birthday because she's only 74 now. So he's been with her for over a year.
Okay.
That's what it's about. That's wonderful. So that's why I stopped and I was like, okay, I see the angel wings. You're saying you stepped in on her 73rd birthday, and he said yes.
Okay.
That's what it is. And he'll stay that way until she meets him.
Okay.
So even if he's with all of you, and you might be a little bit more open to him in spirit than anybody else, his soul assignment is with mom until she joins him, whether it's a year or 20 years from now.
They were very close.
Do you
So,
understand
yeah.
it? So he's helping. He's helping, which is great. He's like, Heather, tell me I'm going to have to go soon because I can feel this energy getting depleted. I'm like, I know. But let me get anything else I can remember, whether it's 2 or 3 things. And I keep hearing about having the old Zippo and everything smells like Zippo later. Fluid. Somebody has that saved in honor of him because he's telling me he used to light his joints with it.
Very important, very
Look,
important.
Okay.
please remember, one of his
Right.
friends might even have that.
Yeah.
Like,
I
I
would
can't believe my
assume.
old Zippo's there, and I could hear him shutting and closing this old silver Zippo lighter, and I
Okay.
could smell like lighter fluid,
Lighter
and I'm like,
fluid.
really? And he's like, my Zippo lighter's there, it's what I used to light my joints with, and I'm like, okay, honey. So funny. And
Okay.
he's actually talking about hand rolling joints. So I know that he did that on occasion too.
So after he died, my husband went into his room and just kind of did a quick gut check
Mm-hmm.
so that my mother didn't find them.
I know. Yeah, he's telling me that he got pretty good at it, and that he used to roll his.
Lovely.
He used to roll his. Look, I can only pass what they give me. I've never done drugs in my life, but I still have the best information. But he's telling me he got pretty good at rolling joints. I'm like, well, good for you, honey. He was proud of it for whatever
Yeah, I
reason.
could assume, yeah. Yeah.
It's so good. And he's talking about hiding them in his underwear so nobody would find them. Look,
Okay.
it just means at one point he did.
Yeah.
This cracks me up. He's like, Kelly, I wanted to say something funny to make her smile before I left, because
Aw.
I know she'll still be laughing at it later. Do you
Mhm.
understand? I'm like,
Yeah.
that's okay, honey. I'm gonna start to lose them. Yeah, Tony lost his energy. I kept waiting for him. It's okay, he gave up for your brother because that was that good person. Yeah, my guys are like, we have to take them. They did great. I was hoping to maybe get a little bit from Beverly, but they gave it all to your daughter. Once she stepped in, they stepped out for her. They always do that for children. They did so great trying to share time. Yeah, my guys are like, we have to take them. We're walking them into light. I don't know who the other two souls were with him. Oh, they just said Joyce was one. I don't know who the other one was. Eddie and your other aunt had left. Tony had already started to lose his energy. So did your grandpa and grandmother. So I'm not being told who the other soul was. They did such a great job for you guys. Tell everybody I love them. You can hear him saying, tell everybody I love them. Tell everybody I love them. He did great. They did wonderful.
Thank you.
Really quick before he goes, do you understand him talking to me about the A-Team and He-Man?
No.
Okay, I need to leave that because they're probably childhood memories of stuff he loved, but it
Mhm.
doesn't mean his friends or your mom might not understand that.
Okay.
But that goes back into childhood friends. Do you understand?
Yeah.
There's a reason why I got it. They did wonderful. I'm glad I got all that time with you guys. They shared time as much as they could, but they did really great. Yeah, if I don't hear anything else, they just shut me down. I won't hear
Thank you.
anything else. They did wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Very much.
Yeah, they did great.
Mm-mm.
Wonder what time is it? Is it close to
It's after
midnight?
12.
Yeah.
Midnight.
Is it really?
Yeah.
It's what?
It is not.
Almost 7.
Those are
Wow,
Yeah.
we got 5.5 hours.
You must be drained.
Yeah,
Yes.
every hour I read, because I'm a channeling medium, it's like we're doing about 5 hours, so it's like I did about 25 hours
Thank
with you
you.
guys. It's a lot.
I appreciate your hospitality.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Been a
Do you guys
pleasure.
wanna go out through the garage so
Yeah.
I can turn the lights on for you?
That way.
Where did you park?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
We're good.
I did it.
Thank you very much.